Hello and welcome to Ditch Witch Diaries. This time we have all of our cast of characters here, Raven and Roz and myself, and we are talking about plants and herbs associated with the planet Mars. And so we're going to start with the introduction and to tell you all about Mars and its various things and correspondences, and we'll just let Raven take it away.
So, Mars is the red planet as we know it. And starting with some info on Mars, so it spends a little over 57 days in each zodiac sign. So it takes about, which is about 6 weeks. And so it takes about 2 years to complete its orbit through the whole cycle of the zodiac. So it's in each sign for a pretty decent amount of time. Now, Mars is the action planet. It's how we take like what we want, our manifestations, and just like, the general what we're trying to do and putting it into action. And through physical work, like the actual physical action of bringing these things into the reality. So it's also about like standing up, being noticed, getting things done. It's about like confidence and power, and aggression definitely plays a role here. And it can be like the kind of negative aspect of aggression, but it can also be more about like aggression associated with like getting shit done, like what you want to get done, you're getting it done, the courage to get it done, the action, and like the honor associated with completing what it is you want to complete. So the keywords here are physical activity is the big one. Also sexuality. Mars is a big planet associated with like sexuality. It's kind of seen, the action and sexuality is seen as the opposite of Venus, which we've already gone over. But Venus is also about sexuality, but it's kind of like a softer, like more loving sexuality. And Mars is like powerful sex type of sexuality. It's also about action, ambition, desire, courage, all of that like big action punched kind of stuff. Now the element is fire, which makes a lot of sense. The crystals and minerals are garnet, which is one of my personal favorites. Bloodstone, I love garnet. Bloodstone, carnelian, fire agate, ruby, pyrite, hematite. I also associate lava stone with like fire and a lot of Marsian energy. I didn't see that anywhere else, but I do that. And then some places also said red jasper and coral. I don't really agree with that. I can see red jasper, but I associate red jasper with the earth because it's found like deep in like the crevices of the earth. And so I don't associate it necessarily with like the fire energy aspect. I associate it with more of like the earthy, like high nurture kind of capacity. And then also coral, which I don't necessarily agree with that either. I do not associate
water
with fire. There is fire coral, but like coral in general is in the water, and fire and water are two very separate things.
Yes.
So I don't really like coral. And also Mars is very like, it's not water, it's very fiery and very like dry. So I don't associate coral with it, but I found that in a lot of places. Colors are red. That's like the predominant number one color is red in all of its shades. But also,
you know what? That's probably why they do, because a lot of the coral that you buy, like when you buy coral, like I've got like my mother just gave me some like real coral necklaces that she got like in the 70s, and they're like bright red. So
they are red,
coral, yeah.
So I can see the color association.
Yeah, but that's it,
Jasper,
right?
But,
exactly.
But not with really like the energy.
Agreed, 100%.
Fire, like I said, fire coral I could see, because fire coral is like, it's very painful. If you touch it, it feels like a jellyfish sting. So I could kind of see the power with that, but it's still in water. So I don't know. Metals are iron and gold. The houses are the first and the eighth. Sign is Aries and Scorpio. The organs are the muscular system and the sexual organs. And then the modalities are hot, dry, and highly energetic.
Awesome.
I did find a couple places, and I totally agree with this, to be careful if you're mixing like moon herbs with Mars herbs together, because we already talked about the moon, which is very like feelings, intuition, that kind of stuff, emotions. And if you're and Mars again is very like powerful, like adding energy, very action based. And so if you're mixing mood, like mood type herbs with Mars, it could kind of intensify those emotions that you're feeling. So energetically, maybe be careful with that.
And on a full moon, especially, I would be careful with that.
Yeah, definitely agreed. So quite a bit of deities, mostly gods. It was kind of hard to find some goddesses, but it's that shouldn't just say gods. That should say like
deities.
Yeah.
There's a stupid flying bug around me that's fucking killing me.
I'm like, kill it instead.
It's like it's the teeniest little gnat.
Like a little gnat?
Yes, it's so, I don't know how it got in here and why it's like, because it wasn't bugging me over there, so.
So,
oh my God, why are you so obsessed with me?
I know, I see you over there like.
Exactly.
So deities associated with war, anger, and aggression are typically associated with Mars. So we have Aries and Mars. So Aries, the Greek god of war, who's the counterpart of the Roman Mars. We've talked about this like counterpart of like the Roman and the Greek deities before, but both of them are associated with the planet Mars. Bologna, which is the spouse, sibling, and charioteer of the god Mars, and she is said to hold her. It is said that her hands are bloodied, and she holds her bloodied hand, uses her bloodied hands to hold the reins of Mars's chariot, which I thought was pretty cool. And then we have Carisius, which is an Iberian god, Diana, who's Roman, Kali, obviously, who's Hindu, Mangala, who's a Hindu deity of like war, aggression. Also, his name is like mixed with Loita, which means the red one. Nergal, who's Babylonian, Nerine, who is Roman, and later becomes associated with Minerva, Nero, and Tyr.
Nice.
So this is the herb list, the Mars herb list that we keep in our not little, but in our books, in our pages. But also Bayrel had an absolute shit ton of herbs. Instead of typing them, I just put pictures.
That is great. Oh my God, I'm rolling. You're like, all this.
I was like, I'm not typing all of that.
I love it.
Oh shit!
Take a picture.
And all of this. There was also like another 10 on another page, but I was like, that'll give you some.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Some really good ones though.
Do you know what your Mars sign is?
I have it in my notes app. Let me see.
So when you look, I know what mine is. So I'll tell you while you're looking up. Mine is in Scorpio as well. So both my Mars and my Venus are in Scorpio.
Oh, mine is in Cancer. Okay. Fucking of course.
You feel your feelings when you feel them. It's good.
3, 4.
You just flow into things.
I have 5 Cancer placements.
I know you do. I know you do. You little water baby, you.
Little crab go walking by. Crab walk.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
When I'm supposed to be fiery and aggressive and like courageous.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Nice.
You're one of those bright red fiery looking crabs, but crab nonetheless.
So that's it. That's all my info on Mars.
After Sharon, and then we will come back to you. Okay. Thank you for that. That was amazing. We learned a lot about Mars, herbs, and plants, and what Mars does, and who it's associated with it, and its attributes and whatnot. And so thank you for joining us, and we will see you at the next Ditch Witch Diaries.